Good morning, all. In previous lecture, we have seen some basic examples in first chapter, that is complex number, related to argument, amplitude, or the R value, that is modulus value. So the next point is De Moivre's theorem. So we have to study further the examples we can solve by using De Moivre's theorem, that is the De Moivre's formula. So what is the statement or what is the formula for De Moivre's theorem? So if n is a real number, then cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to n equal to cosine theta plus I sin n theta. That is, what is the meaning? So if we have this type of bracket, that is cos theta, first term should be cos theta plus I sin theta, second term should be or must be I sin theta. So it is one kind of complex number, you can say x plus iy form, where x is cos theta and y is sin theta. So if this bracket we have cos theta plus I sin theta with some power n, where n is real number, then this can be simplified by using De Moivre's theorem, as you can merge this power n to the angle, both the angles. That is, this power can be simplified as cosine theta plus I sin n theta. So this is your De Moivre's theorem. So here, this is the important formula. So whenever we solve the examples, and if we have the step like bracket raised to n, that is cos theta plus I sin theta raised to some number, bracket square, bracket raised to minus 2, etc., negative or positive number or zero value, then that power we can simplify, or that power we can eliminate, we can vanish by using this De Moivre's theorem, as you can multiply this power to the both the angles, n into theta. So this is your De Moivre's theorem. So there are some properties for this formula. So if there is a cos theta plus I sin theta, if there is a power minus n, then we have, if there is a n, then we can, by the De Moivre's theorem, we have cosine theta plus I sin n theta. If there is a negative power, so what is the simplification by De Moivre's theorem? Cos n theta minus I sin n theta. So how we get this minus sign here instead of this plus sign? Because in this first formula, basic formula of De Moivre's theorem, if there is a plus sign, then there is no change for the sign. Again we get the plus sign if the positive number is there. So if there is a negative number, that is minus n, then we have to change the middle sign, that is cosine theta minus I sin n theta. That is, we have to multiply this n to this angle n theta, and this minus sign we have to merge to this middle sign, that is minus, we have to take to the middle sign, middle term, that is plus changes to minus sign. So how we get this answer or get this right side? So if we use this De Moivre's theorem as it is to this left side, that is, whatever the power, we have to multiply that power to the both the angles. So multiply this minus n to the both the angles. So we get cos of minus n theta, this type of angle, plus I sin minus n theta. So this we have done by using this original formula. That is, whatever the power, we have to multiply that power to each angle, cos angle and sin angle. So the cos theta changes to cosine theta, sin theta changes to sin n theta. So if there is a negative number minus n, then multiply this minus n to this theta value by using this formula. Instead of n, there is a minus n. So multiply minus n to each angle. So we get cos of minus n theta, this term, plus I sin of minus n theta. Now you can simplify that cos of minus n theta by using cos of minus theta formula. So cos of minus theta is cos theta, and sin of minus theta equal to minus sin theta. These are the general formulae, basic formulae. So cos of minus n theta by using this formula is cos theta. There is no any change. And sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. That is, we have to put the minus sign here. So sine of minus n theta is minus sin n theta. So what we get here, we have cos of minus n theta plus I sin minus n theta. So this left side is equal to this term by using this De Moivre's theorem. Then simplify cos of minus n theta by using this formula. So we get cos of minus n theta is cos n theta and sine of minus n theta is minus sin n theta. So this I into minus sin n theta. So that minus sign goes to this plus sign. So we get minus sign in the middle term. You can use this original formula, and by using this cos of minus theta and sine of minus theta formulae, we get the right side. Or you can remember directly this formula. If there is a negative power, then multiply this positive number to the angle and take this negative sign to the middle term, that is minus I sin n theta. Then next is, if there is a term like cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to 1 by n, then again there is a some number in power. So multiply this 1 by n to this angle by using this formula. So we get cos theta into 1 by n, that is theta by n plus I sin theta by n. Then if this type of term, cos theta middle sign is originally minus sign. So cos theta minus I sin theta bracket raised to n. So if we simplify this by using this formula, so cos theta minus I sin theta bracket raised to n is so what we have, by using this original formula, this is your power. So merge this power to the each angle. So that will be equal to cos of minus n theta minus I sin minus n theta. Now use the formula, cos of minus theta is cos theta. So cos of minus n theta is cos n theta minus sin of minus n theta is minus sin n theta. And that minus sign and this minus sign get plus. So we get cos n theta plus I sin theta. So this is your answer. So here you can directly remember this formula, or you can, it is easy to remember only one formula and apply this formula whatever the power we get in the example. If there is a minus sign, minus n, then use this formula, simplify using this formula, we get the answer. For this term also use this formula, De Moivre's theorem, and simplify, we get the answer. No need to remember this type of formula, only remember this original De Moivre's theorem. So these are the some properties. Then the next is, if z equal to, suppose the complex number is given in the form of complex trigonometric functions, that is if z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, then what is the value of 1 by z? Because in further lectures, in some examples, if the complex number is given in this form cos theta plus I sin theta, then we have to take the reciprocal also in some steps. So what is the reciprocal of this type of complex number, which is in the trigonometric equation or trigonometric functions cos and sin? So if z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, so what is the reciprocal of this type of complex number? Then 1 by z equal to cos theta, take the opposite sign. If there is a plus sign, then take cos theta minus I sin theta. So if again the in the reverse case, if you take z equal to cos theta minus I sin theta, then what is the value of 1 by z? So that is the main property, that we have to take the opposite sign. So 1 by z is cos theta plus I sin theta. Then next property is, if z1, these are the properties we have to use to solve the further examples. So these are the important properties, remember these properties. Next is, if z1 equal to cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, that is the first complex number in this form, and this is the second complex number, z2 equal to cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2, then what is the product of this type of complex numbers. So Z1, Z2, what is the value of Z1, Z2? Is it we have to take the bracket multiplication, that is cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1 into cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2? No. That will be time consuming when we multiply these two brackets. So property is, if this type of complex numbers we have given in terms of cosine terms, then the product of this type of complex numbers we can write directly as, so Z1 Z2, that is multiplication of the complex numbers is equal to just add the angles. You can take the hint like this, that is if there is a multiplication we want, then just take the addition of angles, that is cos term write as it is and I plus I sin as it is, but multiplication, instead of taking the bracket multiplication of these two brackets, directly write cos theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 plus theta 2. So this is your property of multiplication of two complex numbers in this type. Then if this property is for both the terms are with plus sign, that is middle sign is plus sign, but if there is a minus term, plus term, minus term, that is mixed complex numbers are there, then how to take the complex number and its product. So if Z1 equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, first complex number, and Z2 equal to cos phi, this is your phi. So next angle, cos phi minus I sin phi, then how to take directly the product of Z1 into Z2. So here take cos common and I sin common plus I sin common, and in bracket we have to take theta has the plus sign, so write positive theta, and phi, that phi angle related to the middle sign is minus sign. So take that minus sign to this angle, that is minus phi. So theta minus phi, theta minus phi. So this is the property. If there are mixed complex numbers with middle term having the sign plus sign or minus sign, then how to take the product of this type of two complex numbers or more than two complex numbers, that is just wherever the minus sign, that minus sign we have to take with that angle. So theta has the plus sign, so write theta as it is, but phi should have the minus sign. We have to take minus sign with this phi angle. So theta minus phi, theta minus phi. So this is the direct multiplication. Next, these are the some properties we have to remember. So next, see some examples related to De Moivre's theorem. First example, if x plus 1 by x equal to 2 cos theta, y plus 1 by y equal to 2 cos phi, and z plus 1 by z equal to 2 cos psi, this is your phi notation. This is your psi notation, S, psi notation. And this is, you know very well, this is the theta notation. So these are new to you. So this is the angle phi. These are just notification, or it is given the next angle, for the next angle the notification is, or this is your first angle theta, the next angle will be phi, it is denoted by phi, and third angle is denoted by psi. So theta, phi and psi. So this is information we have given, and what we have to prove? So prove that xyz plus 1 upon xyz equal to 2 cos theta plus phi plus psi. Then second is x raised to m upon y raised to n plus y raised to n upon x raised to m equal to 2 cos m theta minus n phi. And third one is x raised to m plus y raised to n plus its reciprocal 1 upon x raised to m y raised to n equal to 2 cos m theta plus n phi. So how to prove that? So we have to use this information to prove these three terms. So here given information is x plus 1 by x equal to 2 cos theta. So take one by one these three terms which is given. So first take this first equation, x plus 1 by x equal to 2 cos theta. Similarly you can find the conclusion for this second equation and for this third equation. So let us see what the conclusion we get by this first equation. So consider the given equation x plus 1 by x equal to 2 cos theta. So now simplify the left side. You can take the cross multiplication, x square plus 1 upon x equal to 2 cos theta. Take this x on right side, x square plus 1 equal to 2x cos theta. Take this on left side, x square minus 2x cos theta plus 1 as it is equal to 0. And you can see by simplifying or by taking the cross multiplication and by simplifying by taking all the terms on left side, we get the quadratic equation in x. So once we get the quadratic equation, we can find the roots of that quadratic equation. So what is the formula? The basic formula for finding the roots of that quadratic equation is minus b plus minus. You have seen this formula in previous lecture, minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So where a, b, c are, if there is a equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So a means here 1, x square coefficient is 1. B means x coefficient is minus 2 cos theta. So b value is minus 2 cos theta. And c value is last constant, that is plus 1. So a value is 1, b value is minus 2 cos theta, c value is 1. So put these a, b, c values in this formula, we get the x roots. So x equal to minus b, minus this minus n and this minus get plus. So plus 2 cos theta plus minus square root b square minus 2 cos theta square is 4 cos square theta minus 4 into a into c, minus 4 into a, that is 4 into 1 into 1, that is 4, minus 4 upon 2 into a, 2 into 1, that is 2. Now simplify to get the roots. So 2 cos theta plus minus, take this 4 outside of this square root. First take 4 common, so 4 into cos square theta minus 1. Then take this take separately this root, so square root of cos square theta minus 1. So square root of 4 is 2. So 2 into square root of cos square theta minus 1. Just I am simplifying the this equation. So take common 4 and take this separately root. Root 4 is 2. 2 root cos square theta minus 1. Then again we can use the formula for this square root under this square root equation, that is cos square theta minus 1. So we have the formula sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. So what is the value of cos square theta from this equation? Cos square theta minus 1 is, take this 1 on left side and sin square theta on right side. So minus sin square theta. So we get from this formula, we get cos square theta minus 1 equal to minus sin square theta. So put the cos square theta minus 1 value minus sin square theta. Then cos theta as it is. Now you take the 2 common and that common 2 you can cancel with this denominator. So take 2 common and cancel with this denominator. We get cos theta plus minus square root cos square theta minus 1 is minus sin square theta. So cos theta as it is plus minus. Now again take this square root separately. To this minus sign means minus 1. To this minus 1 and root sin square theta. So this you can separate out. Square root of minus sign means minus 1. Square root of sin square theta. So square root of minus 1, we know the value of this square root of minus 1 means it is the value of I. So write this square root of minus 1 is I and root sin square theta means sin theta. So we get x has the 2 roots cos theta plus I sin theta. Now similarly, as these are the x roots, by solving this equation, so x plus 1 by x equal to 2 cos theta, y plus 1 by y equal to 2 cos phi. So by solving this first equation, we get x equal to cos theta plus minus I sin theta. Similarly, if you solve this equation, we get the quadratic equation in y. If you solve this equation, similar steps with this, we get the quadratic equation in z, and we get y roots and z roots as only there is an angle theta, we have to take the angle phi and sine. So y roots are y equal to, from this equation, y equal to cos phi plus minus I sin phi, and for z there is an angle sine. So z value is, from this equation, z value is z equal to cos psi plus minus I sin psi. So we have solved, or we have do the steps for this first equation only. Similarly, you can write the roots for y and z. So these, from the given equation, we get 2 roots of x, y and z. Now what we have to prove, we can see one by one. So first is xyz plus 1 upon xyz. So here first find xyz, then find 1 upon xyz. Take the addition of these two terms and prove that this right side. So xyz value is, this is your x value, this is your y value, this is your z value. So what is the product of this type of complex numbers? Complex numbers, why? Because it contains I and I. So this property we have seen just, that product of complex numbers, this type of complex numbers we have, then what is the product of this type of complex number? That is just we have to add the angles, or just we have to subtract the angles by seeing the middle sign. So here first is cos theta plus minus I sin theta. For sake of proving these results, we are taking only positive root. Cos theta plus I sin theta, cos phi plus I sin phi, cos psi plus I sin phi. So what is the product of these three complex numbers? X into y into z is, just we have to add the angles, because the middle sign is plus, plus and plus. So here we have cos, the angle addition is theta plus phi plus psi, then plus all the three complex numbers x, y, z has the middle term sign is plus sign, plus, plus and plus. For sake of proving the results, proving the example, we are taking the positive root. So all the middle terms has the have the sign plus, plus, plus. So take plus I sin, and again take the addition theta plus phi plus sin. So this is your xyz value. Then what is the 1 upon xyz? So again there is a property. If this type of z complex number we have, then what is the reciprocal? Reciprocal means we have to change the middle sign. If there is a plus sign, then take minus sign. If there is a minus sign, then take plus sign. So apply that property. So 1 upon xyz is only change the middle term sign, that is plus changes to minus. So we get 1 upon xyz equal to cos term as it is, plus changes to y, I sin term as it is. So now take the addition, because that is your left side. So xyz plus 1 upon xyz equal to this I sin plus I sin term and minus I sin term get cancelled by taking the addition, and cos plus cos is 2 cos term. So which is your RHS. Now we have to prove the second term. So for second term, we have to first calculate x raised to m, then y raised to n, and then consider the left side. So here x raised to m is, this is your x, so take the power, mth power on both sides. We get x raised to m. So x raised to m equal to cos theta plus, we are taking only positive root. So cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to m. Now apply the De Moivre's theorem. So what is the De Moivre's theorem? If this type of term is there, cos plus I sin, and whatever the power, by using De Moivre's theorem you can eliminate this power, that is multiply this power to each angle. So cos m theta plus I sin m theta, this is the value of x raised to m. Similarly you can find y raised to n. So y raised to n equal to cos phi plus I sin phi bracket raised to n. By De Moivre's theorem we get cos n phi plus I sin phi, I sin n phi. Now take x raised to m upon y raised to n. So x raised to m is cos m theta, put the x raised to m value here, y raised to n value, this value and this value here, we get this. Now take this denominator term in numerator for the simplification. So how to get this type of complex number into numerator? So just change the middle sign, plus changes to minus sign. So we get numerator, write numerator as it is, and denominator will convert to the numerator by taking the plus sign to minus sign. So cos n phi plus changes to minus I sin n phi in numerator. If denominator term we have to take in numerator, so change the sign, middle term sign. That is your property. So this is the property we are using in reverse order, that is 1 by z equal to this term. Then how to take this z in numerator? That is change the minus sign to plus. This property we are using here. So here this numerator denominator goes to numerator by changing middle term sign to minus sign. Now again we have to simplify, because there is a product of two brackets containing cos and sin bracket. So how to take the product of these two complex numbers? This property we have to use. Product means just we have to add the angles. If there is a plus sign in between, middle term has the plus sign everywhere, then add the angles only. This is the product. So here in first bracket the middle sign is plus, in second bracket the middle sign is minus. So how to take the product? General product we are not taking. By using the property we are directly write the product of these two complex numbers. So what is that property? Just we have to add or subtract the angles. So here there is a plus sign, so take cos plus I sin directly, and m theta the middle sign is plus, so take m theta, and n phi has the middle sign minus, so take this minus sign to this n phi. So m theta minus n phi, m theta minus n phi, that is your property, m theta minus n phi. So the product we are taking directly by using this property. So these are properties very important to solve the examples or to simplify the examples. So here by using this x value we get x raised to m, and by using De Moivre's theorem we simplify this bracket, then we get y raised to n similarly, then x raised to m upon y raised to n, we are taking this term, and we have taken this denominator to numerator by using again the property by changing the middle sign. Then again using property we get we have taken the product of these two complex numbers, that is just add or subtraction of angles. This is the angle m theta here, and here the angle is n phi. So here there is a minus sign, hence we have to take m theta minus n phi, m theta minus n phi. Now again the second term in left side is y raised to n upon x raised to m. So y raised to n upon x raised to m means we have already found the x raised to m upon y raised to n. So just we have to take its reverse terms, that is take this y raised to n in numerator and x raised to m in denominator, that is the reciprocal. Its reciprocal is this. So if we take the reciprocal of this term 1 upon x raised to m upon y raised to n, by simplifying we get this term we have to take in numerator by
taking in reverse. So y raised to n upon x raised to m. So this is the second term. This is the second term, and this term is your reciprocal of this first term. And first term we have calculated, just take the reciprocal of this term, we get this term. So here x raised to m upon y raised to n has the value this. Then what is the reciprocal of this? That is, its reciprocal is y raised to n upon x raised to m is equal to 1 upon this term, cos m theta minus n phi plus I sin m theta minus n phi. Now 1 upon, there is a complex number which is in the denominator. So take this denominator term in numerator. How to take this denominator term in numerator or numerator term in denominator? Just change the sign of the middle term. That is, change the plus I sign changes to minus I sign. So we have cos m theta minus n phi minus I sin that same angle. Now consider the LHS. This is your LHS. LHS equal to, so add the two terms. This term cos term plus I sin cos plus I sin, this is your first term, and second term is this, so cos minus I sin. So by adding we get cos plus cos, two terms, that is 2 cos m theta minus n phi, and that plus I sin term, and here there is a minus I sin term. That is, after adding these two terms, this sin term get cancelled and we get 2 cos term, that is 2 cos m theta minus n phi. So this is your required answer, this second equation. Now you can prove the third equation, that is x raised to m y raised to n plus x raised to m. The third equation is x raised to m y raised to n plus 1 upon x raised to m y raised to n. So we have to prove this again. So as to prove the second equation or second term, we already calculated x raised to m and y raised to n, and in this we have taken in denominator terms. So for proving the third equation, we have to take the product. So what is the product of x raised to m y raised to n? So x raised to m and y raised to n, this is your x raised to m, this is your y raised to n term. Now how to take the product of these two terms? Because these are the complex numbers, so first we have to eliminate this power. So by using De Moivre's theorem, take this, apply the De Moivre's theorem. So power goes to angle, that is, we have to multiply this power to angle. So we get, by applying De Moivre's theorem, we get cos m theta plus I sin m theta, and in second bracket again apply De Moivre's theorem, cos n phi plus I sin n phi. Now what is the bracket multiplication of this type of complex numbers? That is, just as there is a plus sign in middle term, so just add the angles. So cos plus I sin as it is, m theta plus n phi, just add the angles. This is your bracket multiplication of this type of complex numbers. Then what is the value of 1 upon x raised to m y raised to n? That is your second term. So as we have calculated this, just take the reciprocal of this term, we get the second term. So x raised to m y raised to n is this. So 1 upon x raised to m y raised to n is equal to 1 upon this cos term, whole term. And now take this cos plus I sin term in numerator by using the De Moivre's theorem property, that is, middle term sign changes to, or we have to take the opposite sign. So plus I sign changes to minus I sign. So 1 upon cos term we have to take in numerator as cos of angle plus I sign changes to minus I sin angle. So this is your answer. Now we have to take the addition of these two terms. So what is the addition? So you can simplify this. So addition of this term plus this term is equal to addition of this term and this term. So by adding we can get plus I sin term and minus I sin term get cancelled, and cos term plus cos term. So we get 2 cos. So 2 cos m theta plus n phi. 2 cos m theta plus n phi. So this is your first example in every step or in many steps we have used De Moivre's theorem, then their properties. Next example is, if alpha beta are the roots of the equation z square sin square theta minus z sin 2 theta plus 1 equal to 0, then prove that alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n equal to 2 cos n theta into cosec raised to n theta. So this we have to prove. So what is the information given? This is your equation. If you carefully see this equation, this is your quadratic equation. As there is a z variable, rest of the terms are constant and trigonometric function. So this is the quadratic equation in z. And again it is given that this is your quadratic equation. So of course there are only two roots for this quadratic equation, and these two roots have the notation. It is given in the example that these two roots should be alpha and beta. So one step we can do that. As this is the quadratic equation, we can find the roots of this equation. That is, we can find the z values, z roots, by using the formula, basic formula for finding the roots of the quadratic equation. That is minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So here a value is, this is the formula for ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, quadratic equation. So this is your quadratic equation. So comparing, we get a equal to sin square theta, b equal to minus sin 2 theta, c equal to plus 1. Put these values a, b, c in this formula. We get minus minus plus sin 2 theta plus minus root b square, that is sin 2 theta square, minus 4ac, 4 into a into c. So 4 sin square theta into 1, 4 sin square theta upon 2a, 2 sin square theta. Now simplify this. Sin 2 theta plus minus So here you can use the formula here. Which formula? Double angle formula, sin 2 theta. So sin 2 theta formula is, in one step we are using this formula, we get this bigger terms. So now we have to use the trigonometric basic formulae and simplify this to get the simpler form roots. So for that we have to use the formula. So sin 2 theta formula you can use here. So sin 2 theta formula is double angle formula, 2 sin theta cos theta. So there is a square, sin 2 theta bracket square, or the next notation is sin square 2 theta. Both notations are same. So what is the square of this term? Sin 2 theta square. So again we have to take the square of this. So 2 sin theta cos theta bracket square is, take the square separately, 4 sin square theta cos square theta, 4 sin square theta cos square theta, minus 4 sin square theta as it is, denominator as it is. Now take 4 sin square theta common and take its root separately. So 4 sin square theta square root is 2 sin theta, and in square root, by taking 4 sin square theta outside this root, the remaining terms will be cos square theta minus 1. You can do the rough calculation. So 4 sin square theta root is 2 sin theta, and root of cos square theta minus 1 is remaining. Denominator term is 2 sin square theta. Now from numerator take 2 sin theta common and cancel 2 sin theta from the denominator. So remaining terms will be cos theta plus minus square root cos square theta minus 1 upon 2 sin theta is cancelled. So remaining only one term, that is sin theta. So again you can use cos square theta minus 1 formula. So for that use sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. You can use this. So cos square theta minus 1 is minus sin square theta. Take this 1 on left side and sin square theta on right side. So we get cos square theta minus 1 is minus sin square theta. So minus sin square theta. So cos theta plus minus. So take this square root separately. So square root of minus 1 is I. Square root of sin square theta is sin theta upon sin theta. So cos theta plus minus I sin theta upon sin theta. These are your two roots. We are used this formula and we get the two roots. But in the example it is given that alpha beta are the roots of this quadratic equation, and by using the theory formula we get these roots. So obviously we have to assume one root as alpha and another root as beta, because in example it is given that alpha beta are the roots of this quadratic equation, and by the theory we find the quadratic equation roots are these two roots. So obviously we have to assume one root as alpha root and another root as beta root. So let us assume alpha equal to plus root cos theta plus I sin theta upon sin theta, and beta root is minus root, that is cos theta minus I sin theta upon sin theta. Now from given information what we have done, this is your quadratic equation, and by using the quadratic equation formula to find the roots, we get the two roots. For one root we assume the alpha root, and for another root we assume the beta root. Now consider the left side, alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n, and prove the right side. So consider LHS equal to alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n equal to alpha is cos theta plus I sin theta upon sin theta bracket raised to n, plus beta is cos theta minus I sin theta upon sin theta bracket raised to n. Now we have to simplify this to get this cos term, and because right side contains cos theta, cos term and cosec term. So this term we want for the RHS. So we have to simplify this. So how to simplify? First take the separate powers. So we get cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to n upon sin theta bracket raised to n, cos theta minus I sin theta bracket raised to n upon sin theta bracket raised to n, or sin raised to n theta. Then apply the De Moivre's theorem. I have written directly here. So cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to n, apply the De Moivre's theorem. So eliminate this n power. So we get cosine theta plus I sin n theta, and here cosine theta minus I sin n theta. We have applied De Moivre's theorem. Now denominator is same, so take this common. So 1 upon sin raised to n theta, and add the numerator. So cosine theta plus cosine theta, 2 cosine theta, plus I sin n theta minus I sin n theta get cancelled. So we get 2 cosine theta upon sin raised to n theta. So this is your answer, but in example right side contains 2 cosine theta, but instead of 1 upon sin raised to n theta we have to write cosec raised to n theta. So how to bring this cosec raised to n theta? So we know that 1 upon sin is cosec, 1 upon sin theta is cosec theta. Hence 1 upon sin raised to n theta we have to convert it into cosec raised to n theta, which is your required right side answer. Then the next example is if alpha equal to, in this example the main steps are we have solved this quadratic equation which is in Z. By using this b square minus 4ac formula we get the two roots. These two roots we have assumed one as alpha and another as beta, and using the De Moivre's theorem by considering the left side we get the right side. Next is if alpha equal to 1 plus I, beta equal to 1 minus I, and cot theta equal to 1 plus x, then prove that x plus alpha raised to n plus x plus beta raised to n is equal to 2 cosine theta cosec raised to n theta. So here we have to consider this left side and we have to prove the right side. So what is the given information? Alpha value is given, beta value is given, and this equation is given. So here for left side we want the values of x, alpha and beta. So from these three terms alpha beta we know because it is given, but x we don't know, but we can find this x value from this third equation. So what is the x value from this third equation? So x equal to cot theta minus 1. Take this one on left side, we get the x directly. So now we have x value, alpha value and beta value. So all the values we know. X value we brought from this third equation and alpha beta value directly given. So put this x value, alpha value, beta value in the left side. So before considering the left side, first simplify this bracket. X plus alpha, what is the value of x plus alpha and x plus beta? So x plus alpha equal to, x value is cot theta minus 1 plus alpha is 1 plus I. Simplify, minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled, cot theta plus I. And x plus beta is, this is the value of x, this is the value of beta, 1 minus I. So minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled, cot theta minus I. So x plus alpha is this, x plus beta is this. Now consider the x plus alpha raised to n, first term. You can directly consider the left side, or you can step by step you can consider the terms separately. This term separately you can calculate, this term separately you can calculate, and by using the addition you can find the LHS, or you can directly write the LHS. So here I have considered this term separately. So x plus alpha raised to n. So what is the value of this? So x plus alpha is cot theta plus I. So cot theta plus I bracket raised to n. So how to simplify this? So in this equation we can do one step, as we can convert the cot theta into cosine term, because cot theta has no meaning in De Moivre's theorem. For applying De Moivre's theorem or their De Moivre's theorem properties, we want cos term or sine term only. We don't want any other term, just we want cosine term, then only we can use De Moivre's theorem or their properties. So for that, one step you can do here, that you can convert this cot theta term into cosine term. So what is that? So cot theta is cos upon sine. So cos theta upon sine theta plus I bracket raised to n. Now take the cross multiplication, cos theta plus I sine theta upon sine theta bracket raised to n. Take the power separately, cos theta plus I sine theta bracket raised to n upon sine n raised to n theta. So the bracket is cos theta plus I sine theta bracket raised to n. Apply De Moivre's theorem. So cos theta plus I sin theta bracket raised to n will give you cosine theta plus I sin n theta. So this power we have to merge to the angle. So cosine theta plus I sin n theta upon sin raised to n theta. So this is your x plus alpha raised to n term. So what is the x plus beta raised to n term? So similarly you can write x plus beta raised to n, take the nth power on both sides. So cot theta minus I bracket raised to n. So there is only, you can see x plus alpha raised to n equal to cot theta plus I, and x plus beta raised to n is equal to cos theta, cot theta minus I raised to n. So only there is a sign difference. If there is a plus sign for this term, there is a minus sign. So hence you can write directly x plus beta raised to n equal to, instead of this plus sign, only plus sign difference is there in these two terms, this term and this term. So one term or first term you can show all these steps for this first term, and for second term you can directly write. So instead of plus sign, write cosine theta minus I sin theta upon sin raised to n theta. Now take the addition of these two terms. So x plus alpha raised to n plus x plus beta raised to n, which is your left side. So after considering the left side, this addition, so this addition x plus alpha raised to n, put the value of this x plus alpha raised to n is this value, x plus beta raised to n has this value. So put this value and take the addition. So what is the addition of these two equations? So in these two equations, 1 upon sin raised to n theta is, denominator is same. So you can directly add the numerators. So cosine theta plus cosine theta, 2 cosine theta, plus I sin n theta minus I sin n theta get cancelled. So we get in numerator 2 cosine theta upon denominator as it is, sin raised to n theta. 2 cosine theta upon sin raised to n theta, which is your not required answer, just we have to convert into cosec. So 1 upon sin raised to n theta is cosec raised to n theta, as we have seen in earlier example. So 1 upon sin is cosec, hence 1 upon sin raised to n is cosec raised to n theta. Next examples we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.